it is a subject that I had felt a little bit sensitive towards, but I feel that I have the solution to everything, because my idea of doing these videos is to promote self-love, harmony, unity, togetherness, and so on. Who knows, one day we just might say yes, even if it's for a day. Yes, and I think for many of us, we can get in that place where we can experience that sense of peace, where we don't have to see as black or white, or rather, we will see these as functions of energies that help us to accomplish, to do, to eradicate whatever it is. So that's my thing. I'm already giving you the essence of this, but numerology is a wonderful tool that helps us to unpack all of this. So stick around, get your knife and fork, because this is going to be very delicious. And I'm going to endeavor to make it in a light-hearted manner, well, as light as possible, so we can, enjoy the essence of it, the deliciousness. So, okay, I want to go one step forward into that which I had already done. So let's say we had black, BLA. It'd be nice to kind of have it in black, but maybe this is worked out really good, because that's what we want to do. We really want to be able to see the functions instead of, so there has to be a shift. So basically, this is good. Okay. And then we have white. Now, let's see if we can draw your attention to what we had before. Maybe I should have used the other board, so I saved me going back and forth. But okay, let's look at this. So basically, in my previous videos, I saw that every time, for instance, that I would have to, because I live in Britain, in case you are watching this elsewhere, and you feel your ethnicity background or something like this, or your, your ethnicity how would you describe yourself? Are you black, white, Indian, whatever it is? So what I saw is that I have always been using this word lack. Okay. And even if I looked at the two ends of, meaning the B and the K, which has the same numerical value as 2, we have 2 and 2, I would still see this as lack, because this is the English language. And when, of course, you are learning to pronounce words, you're learning, they tell you, so there is lack, and you add the B at the front, and then it becomes black. So you are always using, like, it's as if there are two words telling you to be lack. Because in the spirit of sound, the letter B, just like if we had A for apple, we have an apple, but we say if it wasn't, didn't have a vowel or something, we say a book. So we have B, and we say B light or whatever. Yes, we know when we are writing we have BE, but it still is B. So it tells us right here is that to be lack. Right here is be lack. And that is the language. This is what we have been locked in, and we have not given much thought to it. Now, if even we go by the findings of scientific, if you like, or experiments, or psychological experiments, or whatever it is, or even the language itself, we know that the things we expose ourselves to constantly, whether subliminally or whether consciously, we are harnessing on that vibration. as especially if we are not conscious of it, but it's always around in our peripheral vision, or we always hearing it, it is in our makeup. Other people address us in that very same manner. Other people refer to us as such. We too refer ourselves because that's what we identify ourselves with. We say we are black. I have for a number of years seen right on this, I am black. Whoa, how do you see? And this is the thing as well. They changed it over time. How would you describe yourself? What would you describe yourself? So then it has taken, they have handed back after the conditioning has happened. It has been handed back to you to, I don't want my pen drying because I'm chatting. It has been handed back to you as making believe that you have the choice now to describe yourself as such. Those are the things that have got me thinking over time. How am I really seeing myself? Or if I don't see myself as black, well, how do I actually see myself? Brown? And so would, but it's all filled out on the form already, which is indicated another psychological conditioning which you have to take. At the end, you may see other, which again gives you another psychological condition that you are not really part of the human race. So this is really something we are locked in language. Now, I feel, of course, language is very broad here in a sense, and of course very structured. But if we open our minds now to begin to understand this concept, which is based on the sacrifice template, I'm bearing on emphasizing on the sacrifice template because in the Western society, in the Western world, that's how our culture is based on the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Now this is it here. Let's get a pointer. A pointer. Okay. All right, we've got a pencil. So we have the sacrifice. I have also done a number of videos to show the implications with the word sacrifice and so on. So we know about the story of Jesus Christ died on the cross to save mankind of their sins and so on, and so we could be redeemed from our sins and be saved and have a place in heaven. So it goes on, but there's a lot to it. But here we have numerology because then remember we are given the gift of numbers and letters. They are interchangeable. Well, they are is it interchangeable? But they merge. They merge. Okay, we use them, and so we could say interchangeable as well, in the sense I could say three and then there's a symbol of number three and so on. So even if I'm speaking about numbers, there's still a word that describes numbers as in letters. So basically the two are intertwined, and that's the language. Because it's intertwined, of the whole concept of our makeup is likewise intertwined. I'm hoping I could make this is 11111 or something to that effect. So okay, so here we have this we have the numerology. Now if you want to understand any more of this, you can check out my videos on template to numerology. I feel I have done template to numerology or numerology for beginners. There are a couple videos you can get on that. So back to this is how I have explained how we have the red letters, meaning how the construct of this was devised. And so we have like 17 letters in black which coincide with the word God. And then we have 9 letters in red, of course 9 denotes beginning. So so that would be 9. One is 9. I'll just do this here. So the red is 9, and actually red does equal 9, and black hair, BLACK, is 17, equals 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. So let's just have 8. But I'd like to just say, because 17 is God and it's the same thing. Okay, and I am understanding more and more about the gods as well. Well, the gods, we'll talk about them a bit later if they do transpire, but this is all about helping us to understand who we truly are. This is the thing, the command of know thyself. This is what we are meant to do. Understand how this really plays out in our lives, in our makeup. So now back to this. So we had, it would have been good to have red and black, but we are talking about black and white. So what I wanted to show here, just give you a brief description about what we are talking about, and then we can elaborate a little bit more on that. So we had WHITE, and we had black, BLACK. I want to keep this short because I don't want to make them long, yet still I want you to catch up with what I'm saying. So basically, we have seen how we had lack, and of course there's also the numerical value is 11, which we did before, and I also spoke about how we have heat. I don't know if there's a height, HITE, but I really worked on the first, on the videos I have done, is that I have emphasized what's in the middle. So we see the two ends of anything, the spectrum, but what's in the middle? Or if there was a circle, we want to know what's in the middle. So basically, this is what we saw here. So if this equal 11, that means 11 is 2. Now this also is 11, which is 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. So that also equals 2. This is, we could say, this is really telling us what happened now in 2020. This is 2, 2. 2020 is 4 in numerology. And we see how things has escalated in what we see as black and white, embracing the idea of one race or one people, if you like saying, okay, we all humans, but then we have Black Lives Matters, and things have become very contrasted to some extent. So I want to explore more on this and to show which I feel is necessary to help us understand. Perhaps if we really deconstruct this concept of pigeonholing ourselves in this idea of being black or white, then we would perhaps have greater peace for ourselves and the world that we live in. So, yes, so just to conclude here, what we saw here is that black was more to the left, because, and I think they do call them like the left wing as well. So this is so spot on in the sense that we have B. I have always seen this column here, so you will get a deeper understanding about these columns there. So basically this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So each letter has this numerical value here. So this would be 6, 2, 4, 6, and this would be 3, 6, 9, and so on. This is why we have 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. And this is what Nikola Tesla as well had been speaking about, getting that code to understand the essence of life. So Here we also have 6 when we add this up in six segments of threes. As you can see here on this side, 3 is the only column that is completely changed altogether. This is showing the dynamic attribute of free, because free can be it's like it's a law unto itself. Okay, so what I really want to point out here again, just to refresh ourselves, so B is here, and then we have L is here. So we have, I'll circle them. So it's B, should I do contrast? B, L, A, C, K. So we have right here in this everything is a cluster of letters here, meaning there is not much movement. And this is what we have, the God of movement, which according to the scriptures, when it says in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, this is establishing what happened. And there is where things begin to get into motion. And the Spirit of God moved. This is where the God of movement came. So moved, changed everything. The movement, the spirit that moved was changing, was creating, was doing, was being and having and doing all kinds of things. So here we see that black has not got much movement here. It is like the source. It is like the vortex that you tap in, and then you go and create, or you go and do something. It is the bucket that contains something. It is not that which is moving. It is the flour without the yeast that is not, or the baking agent. It has not given rise yet. There is not that movement yet. And so this is what is happening here. Now let's show you the contrast with right. Oh, sorry, white, because I did right as well. Okay, so we have R. I'm still going about R, sorry, white. Now, another thing, I did speak a lot on W, because W, as we can see, it's at the center. It's almost like saying to us that we are double. We always have a double. And no matter what is doing, whether we already paired up, we still have another double. This is why in the language as well, it's not by chance you hear to you. I am going, you are coming to me. So there is like two of us, to you, to me. This the language. We had not given it thought yet to understand that it is really saying that there are two of you. It is really saying you are coming to me. There is to me. So there is that which is like visible. So we are talking about the dark part and the light part, if you like. This is why we are always seeking our other half. Okay. So so we have W, we have H, we have I, and we have T. This is T here, and E. Okay. Now, that's the thing that I really want to show here. We are conditioned to move to the right here. Everything this you are doing right. If you are doing it right, it denotes you are doing it good. You are doing it the way it is meant to be. So in our conscious minds or subconscious mind, we are conditioned, we have been trained to move to the right. But here, you can see what has happened here, that the W in the white has had the rising agent. They have, like Agent Smith has been able to have this in the matrix, the movement to go to the right, which is why I call, for instance, the headquarters zone. This means that this W, this person, has, or organization has the ability to get to this headquarters zone, and also has the ability, and meaning they have resources, or whether equity, whatever it is, businesses with the inland revenue, because that's where all monies are recorded somehow or another. Or if it's not accountable, but it is being requested to be accountable. So this is what's happening. Revenues you pay or you may receive, but this is where the richness of the flavor of things, when we speak of deliciousness, that we can say, oh, this is what it looks like. So basically, you could say this is like a garden. The soil, it is rich, it provides a lot of food, but it is in the ground. This is what it is, dark. It has this is where we get all our nutrition. This is where we get all our the iron, all the enzymes and everything, the potassium, or everything. We get all of this from the ground. It provides all of those things. However, when it comes to using those things and packaging them and putting them in shops, and getting putting a price tag on it, making profit from it, and serving it on lovely tables and everything else, it it goes to the right. Or even from the cooking and serving it and doing all those things and finding them on the shop shelf, it goes to the right, which is where the inland revenue is. Who is there? Who is who's controlling this part here? So psychologically or subconsciously, we know the person who is in this state here. It's almost like saying, I've hit the jackpot. I've hit the jackpot, being that I can identify myself with this white. So I am really, it's almost like I'm saying I'm asking that if you have any uncertainty on how to identify yourself, perhaps you want to give this thing some thought. Leave a note, let us know how you feel about this, and perhaps we can one day come together or in thought and say, okay, I see myself as people or person, because then that coincides directly with the word Genesis or Jesus at 33, and or believe, or any of those 33 degrees if you like, or say I'm person. Now, for the sake of identifying yourself, and perhaps that's why they're coming with more sophisticated, whether it's good or bad or ugly, other things that where you won't have to perhaps say that I'm black, white, or whatever it is. These are going up to another level. But for our personal growth and development, I feel that we really need to address this. And for the little, for whatever little is rest or is left of 2020, which is 2 2, coming together, I feel this is what we are presented with to actually, I'm trying to remember why I've got, oh, okay, why I've got the black hair and the 8. Okay. So we'll get to that. It's basically, we have to find ourselves or find some kind of resolution where we could have some clarity of who am I? How do I see myself, and how do I want to be addressed? How do I want to be represented in the earth? And does the representation that has been given to me, if you like, because I, of course, I grew up in St. Lucia, of course, where we didn't have to identify ourselves, whether you're black, white, or whatever it is, although there were white people, Indians, but we never had that. So yes, I'm born in England, but I'm still having to say, well, yes, I'm black, and maybe just to make it peaceful for other people as well, so that you want them to understand, or to get a representation that they will understand. Not so much one that you want to identify yourself with, but one you think that they will understand. So you go along, oh, I'm black. Yeah. And it's like, yes, we hear a lot of I'm proud and black and all of those things. Yet still we keep, it's like an affirmation. It's that affirmation, and then you could see that there is a strong correlation according to the law of attraction. You can see the strong correlation with black and those and lack. There is a strong correlation with black and lack. So could it be that we have been verbalizing this so much? We have taken on the energy, the energetic vibration that actually produces the lack. Now, yes, it's true, there are lots of black people who are thriving. And but could it be that they have changed their mentality, or they have had to work tremendously hard, or just sort of change the dial somehow and lock into perhaps what we would see as a white mentality? Yes, some people are, and when we say white mentality, I'm talking about the function here now. This is what I see as function. So, right now, I would like to know that whether I am perceived black, but I have the function or the functionality to move towards this. And I also think this is why on Christianity it is said, when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. Because Christ, the word new comes here, which is Christ. Number 5 is Christ equals 5. 5 also equals key. 5 equals anchor. 5 equals house, home. 5 equals pyramid. 5 equals kundalini. 5 equals chamber. So there are lots of things that when we understand the vibration, and that's why I love numerology, because it kind of opens me up to say, okay, for instance, in my date of birth, I've got 3 5s. And so these are 3 5s here. Perhaps that is why I'm forever thinking of new ideas. And because I have the understanding that I've got the makeup of that newness here. So I have the Christ spirit. So, this is why I want to encourage people to delve into numerology. And I haven't even touched exactly what I wanted to on here, but it's obviously this is not a subject or an illustration that can happen in just the few sessions or videos here. So, and this is 31 minutes, so I want to ensure that I am keeping things a little bit short. Perhaps I may even just split it in half so you could really get the idea, but I like to get the flow of this. So, here, for instance, we see that new is you come into the new, the W is hair. So when you're in Christ, for instance, like I was saying about the child being in the womb and coming out being birth, or this is like an end and beginning. If we add these numerical values like end and beginning, it still gives us the number 5, which is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So, and we are, then that's where the gods come into motion. So we have been speaking about 14 verbatim gods as well, which we are the embodiment of. So it's also vital that we tap into these gods. So we see we have the fox hair. This is when now you have to be learning new skills and being, smart and go, the gypsy journey. I call it gypsy journey, the headquarters zone, because hey, we have this number 7 is like the number of heaven, if you like. Okay. So I feel I need to do this, and I'll split this so you can watch part 1, part 2, part 3. I'm just going to go along with this video, and perhaps the endings may seem a little bit odd, but if you are interested, just go on to the other one and we will see how best we can do this. But I like to go in flow as we are here now. So what we saw, for instance, I on one of the videos I did as well. It's been a while, but I also looked at it's like a fruit or anything. You want to know what the heart of it is like. What is the makeup? So the heart is like Christ would say, the heart, the truth of everything is in the heart. And he would say, this is where you find truth, you find murder, you find everything in the heart. So the state of the heart tells you about the condition. Now, so we have A in the middle here. So let's do the numerical value. Well, we have done the numerical value. We have 1, 3. So we saw that there is a sense of perfection in black because it is balance on either side. That sense of perfection, it's pure, it's organic, it's true. It is everything that is in its entirety. So we saw that there. You can see it here. We've got the 2 on either sides. We've got 3 here in the middle. This is where 3 is doing its notchiness or whatever it is. And we have 1 in the middle. Now, when we look at this here, 5, 2, 9, 8, 5. There is it's a different story here. It's a different story here because we see that these are not in unity. Because even the word hit in itself is already saying that there is movement. The word lack, for instance, if we were to go with the three letters here, just because the spirit of sound mind is there, lack, LAC. This in itself, which is has the again it comes to 7. So 7 is like whole 3 the 6 days of creation, the 7th day of rest. So that is like it's in entirety. So basically there is a completion here, but there is movement here. There is art you hit. There is action. There is flow. The energy or vibration is stimulated here. So not so much here because this is lack. Now to say lack of what? It's lack of movement. This is what is here. Lack of that vibration, because it's not necessarily that it is it hasn't got the vibration, but it's condensed. It's solid. It's concretized. It is it's a mass. But here On heat, there is flow, there is wind, it's hitting against the window, whatever it is, there is movement right here with heat. Now, so let's look at this closely here. When we do the numerical value, let's just do this here. The numerical value for here for heat is 19. Is it any wonder we have numerology again with numbers 1 to 9? Numbers 1 to 9 tells us it contains the whole sacrifice. There is the whole sacrifice element in motion right there in heat. But in lack, we have 1 and the 2 freeze, meaning that it's like 1 and 2. So it comes to free right here. Whether we added these together, which is quite solid because free 6 gives us 9. And then it says like 9 is ready to birth something. So or whether we looked at 1 to 3 here, then this is giving us 6 and this gives us 9, which is 15. But it really only shows us the movement or segment for this part and not of those parts. So what I found as well, it almost broke my heart, but I do understand that it's as if a race for a time or people or whatever it is have taken on a role to act just like in Hollywood. We take on a certain role in our language. We think because it's the game of life and we are acting out certain parts that all these blue or hair would have the ability to go into this concretized state, into the ground, into where all the resources are. The resources are here. Remember, here this B denotes the Last Supper. So, for instance, I've done this. B is the makeup of 13, 1 and 3. When Christ said to his disciples, and he broke bread, meaning like broke the B because the B, so this would be B because that's why Christ always said believe and be whatever. So he broke bread, and that was that's like a illustration or demonstration or a signal or sending out the message. We are 13 at the table. We are 13. Now I am handing this to you, maybe the part of what he broke, the part of what is broken here and here. I am handing this to you. Eat of this because this is my flesh. Drink of that because of course that was close, so there's a contain, it's like B contains things. So drink of the wine because it is my blood. Eat of the bread because it is my flesh. This ritual, which I won't go too much into it, is happening on all different levels. However, this 13 coincides with this number 2. Another way it shows the correlation very closely, because we have been given the language of letters and numbers. So when we do the numerical value for the word 2, it's 2, 5, 6. Adding this together gives us 13. So can you see, people? This is what we are right here. So this 2 is very much here, the 13 that I am talking about. 13, this is 2, this is 13. So there is more depth of meaning with the letters, much more than we even care to think, as we have seen with W, as we have seen with M. Depends on the orientation. So just for example, M would be like mother. It denotes like it's a symbol that captures mother. M and M. McDonald's. You see, McDonald's has this M, endless M's, creating M's, and so on. M for money, and all those things that are nurturing and giving. W, as we have said, is you. W. Double, it's double, meaning it's saying there is more than one. Okay, an equal amount. And so this is the symbols. So back to 2, we can see that these black in essence have no demonstration or manner. Hair is the only L. We have L and A and C, which is, as we say, the LAC, the lack. And isn't it funny as well? Isn't it funny as well that they are in red? LAC. I hadn't even seen this before, I don't think. LAC is in the red right here. And you can see it's almost like the equal angle, equal number. So if I were to draw a line from hair to hair, for instance, and hair to hair, and hair to hair, we have an angle. Yeah, a triangle. So this triangle, of course, is again very tight. It is very it's perfect in its entirety, which is what we are saying. Equal measures on either sides. So you could see how 3 has come and formed a template that locks people in. We are locked in here. And even with the K here, so actually the K, this is really kind of almost crazy. I'm looking at this as at a closer look, because, and I'm just remembering the KKK as well. So the K is in the middle here, and so the K is locked inside. It's like the table that is in the middle, like, K, it's like a, you could see, if you were to look at it like this, you could say it's a table, but it's again locked inside this angle. So we are learning about vibration of the letters and of the numbers through these experiences or illustration. And that is why we have this equal line. It's like you can move from here to there, move from there to there, but there is no movement. The black cannot move beyond this. So here, this is why I'm saying that black is a function. We need to see it as a function and not just identify ourselves with that in a way that we cannot move beyond this, unless for whatever reason that you feel, okay, this is what you are meant to do, be or have, and stay here. But we complain about being here and not being able to move. Or could it be that complaining is part of what helps us to lock ourselves in here, and so maybe this is all part of the package? So this is really interesting to me. I feel that this is something that we need to really examine, and the more we go delve into this, of course, the more enlightenment we get on the subject. Whereas on the other hand, we have movement from here going WHIT, and we have, of course, going back to E, and there is movement to go to T, because according to Emmett Fox, you cannot connect with something that you have nothing like yourself with. if I so for instance, I may not speak your language at all, but because you have eyes, nose, mouth, and everything, and you have a frame like a human being, like I have, I may be able to look at you in the eyes and have a dialogue with you, or have a with you onto some level. Yeah. So have something that you can understand. So basically, what I'm saying here, for instance, black with these circles don't have any black circles here or circles here that it can identify with on the other side. It only has this communication here. Now, why here with the T? Because the T here is at the very bottom now, and it has got a communication, because there's where the thing is. Although it is not circled like the black, but it has the same two numerical value. So there is a relationship right here. This is why I call her the bucket or the basket or something like that, which is where Christ had the Last Supper. This column, this is the column of agreement. This is where they shake hands. Christ says, when you eat of this bread, when you drink of it, when you do this, remember me. I will always be with you, always, because you are locked in here. Always. So this is why it's important as well that you have like a kundalini experience, an opening of the third eye. When you begin to have an opening of the third eye, you break free from this. You break free, and then you are able to find something like yourself from this circle here. Because free, for instance, 369, but this 4, 8, 12 is also divisible from free. From free, they all have that relationship to some extent, so you can still break into this and this is why hair is called the developmental stage. So you go through a developmental stage, you can find something like the W hair, M for mother, nurturing her, and so you will be able to recognize yourself in the W. And this is just to give you the essence of this template. This is what happens here. So you go through this development and you find yourself in a new place. There you are making a choice to say now you are confident enough. You are even able to realize that there is something else on the other side, the right side, to move over to the right side. So it's nothing wrong being here, but we have come on this, we are here to learn and to experience, because there is the pureness, but the experience that we are needing to recognize ourselves and to reflect who we truly are. It consists of this whole journey, which is how we have been conditioned. But some of us, of course, need to wake up to understand the full modules required to recognizing self. So I hope you get this. I hope, and if this appeals to you in any way, please give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed, to subscribe. Leave your notes, leave your thoughts, share the video, because it's another way of looking at issues that really concern us, and it's in the language that we are using all the time. So there is another thing I would like to point out here. I'm seeing how much I can do of this, because this is wide. It's a lot to it. Okay, so let's look at some words that, again, that we see we have had again, there is something that is abbreviation back that the banks use, like a barcode. So that shows us as well the foundation of what is being used from headquarters zone going to the right, from the right, but they have a back. So again, we see that back is something that, of course, this is why they say we would speak, get off my back, because the weight is on the back. Everything is on the back. Things are resting on the back. You carry your rucksack on the back. You know, we used to carry children on the back. You have a piggyback, you know. So there's the back, is that it's and consists of the vertebra, the nervous system. So everything is being weighed on the back. So you can see that we have back from here, BAC. We also, as we have said, we have lack, LAC. I would put the K now, so because we see that. We have ACK. I know it's like arc is ARK, but I don't know why I feel that the arc as well is something to. So LA. So we have back. Let's look at back. 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 This is what I was talking about. And I know we can keep moving the letters, but I just wanted to keep it simple for now. Okay. So what's in the middle, like I said before, is the K. A here. And what I saw, we could say that we have this A, which we see, this is just reminding me, it's reminding me of this angle that we saw here, the triangle right here. So this is really and that's why I do these videos the way I do. I to go like study it, and then yeah, I see something and I feel it's, you know, enough for us to go with it. So there's the triangle. So this is what's in the heart. Now basically I am really feeling, because we all have a heart, and I have done as well videos to show that this angle here, which represents the A, is in the middle of, we have HEART, which is like earth, EARTH, and it's also BRAIN. So we can see that this is in the middle. So there is the pureness in the middle of the heart. There is, it's like that A was there, which is why it is said that it was an apple Eve ate, you know, meaning had to eat it or eat of herself and digest it. And, you know, that's when it gets processed. And this is what we are talking about, movement and process and all of those things. So A is in the middle of the heart. So we can see, it's not to say that black is not has no value. No, this is the pureness we are talking about. But on this earth, it's like being in your kitchen. You have the pure vegetable, you have the pure apple, the pure this whatever it is that you do to cook. Everything is pure. But to have a meal like we could say, oh, I'm having a delicious meal, we now take different things, we chop them, we wash them, we chop them, we cook it, so all those things that we do so we can begin to enjoy it, because that's how we have been conditioned to be able to process, and process is movement, and that's what happens here. Now, so this has a numerical value of 1. Now, the other thing that made me draw this, we could see that on either sides we have 2 free here, and then we have 2 3 here. So this would be like adding this together, this would be 5, and then we would have 5 on the other side. So we can see basically this representation of 5 and 5 here would mean that one has to add 2 plus 3 together to have this representation, because nothing happens without having a relationship like itself. So you would find that the W, meaning the white, has the W or and I'm saying the white in this case, but I'm speaking of function. So two of you, and this is showing the power of 2U or 4U, or two, the power of 2, like I showed with the number 2. So W is coming together. It's almost like camouflaging. You camouflage to be able to tap into this. So because you want to tap into the BL, which the BL and the L, the lack part. So you are not only you are camouflaging so you can actually take on or have a relationship with it. Now, another thing that I also noticed, so if we add these together, the middle, for instance, let's just do this. And really is no difference, but I just really want to show you. And I have to tell you that this is deep, but it's because we do not take time to understand our makeup. Then we feel we have not got a sense of self-worth, of who we truly are. So we allow other people to dictate and tell us who we are. So watch this space. Adding this together becomes 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 is 1. 1. 1 in word form, WNE, is 655 equals 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay. Hold this thought, please. Then we have adding this together, just so this is another way, forgetting how we did this here. Let's look at the 3 letters. We are talking about the 3 letters now. So if we add this together, becomes 7. So 7 as we have. But if we do the numerical value for the word 7, I feel I need to take this off. So we have seen brain and heart. There's a lot more we can do on this. Let's just, okay. 7, SEVEN. So is 1, 5, 4, 5, 5. Adding these together comes to 20. Of course, 2, if we did the numerical, so we have 7. So before I show you about 7 here, I want to show you that before, or the value of 2, I want to show you, remember we have 16, which is 1. 16 when we do the numerical value for 1. So we have 1, and then we do the numerical value for 1. We get 16, and 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay, let's do something. Let's just, so we don't confuse ourselves, we put it here. And we just say 1. Just make it simple. And here is 7. So, but of course, we can see that the middle of black hair, adding this together also equals 7. So here, doing the numerical value for the word 7 now gives us 2, which is 20, but it's 2. And so we go back to whether you wanted to do 2, that shows you about 13, that goes back into, so basically here the 7 goes back into 2, which is TWO, that equals 13, and 1 plus 3 is 4. But remember, 13 has a strong relationship here. So black is still very much contained in this, unless it takes time to see there is a part of its completion or its entirety. This is the 6 days of creation, including the day of rest, the seventh day, the sacredness here. So when we do the numerical value for 7 here, in the middle, basically in the middle is all of creation right there. But when we do the numerical value for the word 1, it is revealing, it is taking us back to the source. 1, it takes us back to the source to tell us that it has got something like itself right here in the middle. Right here. So 7 is reflecting here. The 7 is reflecting, this 7 is reflecting. So we have 7 plus 7, and this is where the gods are very present, because we got 14 gods. Just checking on, okay, 14 gods. So there were 14 gods in the scriptures. So we can see that in the verbatim gods are very present here. So they're in the middle of black, and they're also in the middle of white. Which reminds me as well, on the video I did on Biden and Trump, they both are 7. So I'll just do this quickly here for you. So Biden, which is 55492. This is 10, this is 21, this is 25. So 2 plus 5 is 7. Then Trump, Trump. So people, this is not by chance these people are fighting. It is all designed that way. So this is 2, 9, 3, 4, 7. Adding this together, 10. This is 21, 25. And this is exactly the same, 25. This Biden is 25 and Trump is 25. Is this by chance this happened? No. Well, I should let you answer for yourself. But this is all how we have been orchestrated. Of course, there's high intelligence behind all of this here. And so I am saying, from how I am saying this, is that if we change our perception, our perspective of black and white, and see it as functions, just as we saw with Biden, this is why there is 2U. So basically, Biden and Trump, they are one people. I have done, you can check out my, or one person. You could check out my videos on Biden and Trump, and you will see they don't only have just what I have showed you in common. There is much more that they have got in common. So that is the 2U. And they play out in politics. This is the seed of the fruit being put in the ground, and it cracks up because it has to grow. And this is what is happening. So it's grown, and you see that the seed, like if you put a pea or something in the ground, you will see then it splits. So that is Biden and Trump. They are one person. So one part may fall away and wither, but whatever is growing in the middle, and the one takes on the persona or the attribute of that leaf that is growing, but it's already there happening. So another thing I wanted to show as well. So we have seen the 3 letters, these 3 letters. I have done this video before, but there was so much more, and at the time too I felt I needed to handle my emotions, because there were things that I was seeing, like what has happened. I was feeling those things happening. I have the videos where I was saying I could see people being handcuffed with the number 3 as well, like a handcuff, and I became very emotional in this. So as I say, people taking on the persona and feeling they have hit. Now you could also see that this played out too in the story of the sacrifice, because we hear about they were hitting Christ. I think there was that kind of thing. Some say they hit, so maybe they hit him, but there was a hit in the sense that the whole, like we in our language we say there was a hit, and we know there's a crime committed right there. So hit is always denoting crime, and then there is something else that comes out for the crime. Don't you have like then policemen they're policemen, they're investigators, they everybody has a job. Then they have those who are not getting paid, they or may get a little something to sit at home and watch the progress of the case that is happening. Everyone gets involved because there is a hit. In the lack, you're not hearing anything else. It's purity. There's don't seem to be too much, although these two are dynamic letters. But when they come look at this in this entirety, you are saying then that was creation. And something has to happen when you look at this. Something must happen. It can't stay like this forever. That's why there is a hit. It's like you have to hit this angle to break the angle, the triangle, the points together have become so strong, and you have 2 points to two ends coming together here, two ends coming together here, two ends coming together here, which is also like a symbol of Genesis, because that is number 6, so it would be like 246, or like two ends coming together, two ends and two ends. So this is like Genesis, this is person. So the A is the core of the earth that produces the person, the people, the policeman, the belief, that everything is contained right here in this angle, the triangle right here. This is the pyramid, which also equals 5, because it has its way of showing its dynamic, and that's why the pyramids are there just staring at us. They are there and you can't move them, and we are kind of baffled by their stature and all their symbol and everything else, but they are there. It's like reminding us that is our heart, and for us to be able to do anything, we need to climb up. It's like we need to get to the tip of an angle, if you like, and to break free. It's like you could imagine that this angle triangle would have to break like this, open. This is when it becomes a bucket, a basket, or something, instead of it being closed. So instead of it being closed, it's open here. Sorry, I did this. Yeah, it's correct. It would be like this. So this is, would you say this is the same thing? It's the same measurement, it's the same angle, but it's that something has to happen. So when it gets hit, you could say it gets hit to open. Then there could be movement in here. This is why we go to the bottom of the heart, search the heart, reflect, get that movement, get your thoughts, and of course we have seen brain and heart has the same coming together. It's like reflecting each other with the person, people, again, all of those things reflecting each other and to working together. So there is so much more to yeah, I've been talking for about an hour, but there is so much here to understanding who we truly are. This is basically unraveling our makeup. Now, let's go to another thing, another aspect of what I really want to show you. So we know about the numerical values now. Let's look at we have the real middle of this one here, and we had this one. So this has a numerical value of 1, this has a numerical value of 9. Now, in our language, we could also see this as I, the number 1. If you came up number 1 in your examination, you'd have a high score. However, if someone gave you £9 or dollars, you would feel more enriched than if they gave you 1. So, what sense do we make of this? Again, as I say, this 1 has the numerical value of 7. If we did, because 9, this is why you pay I'm believing this is why you pay taxes on your 9. So 9 is NINE, and you have 5955. Adding this together is 24. So 2 plus 4 is 6. So let's look at this very closely. 1 is 7, 1 is 6. If we were to even add this together, this would give us the very 13 that we have been exploring. This is why a sacrifice is done again. This is where you have Black Friday the 13th. You have the Christ was at the table with the 13th, and you can see that they're coming together. So there is like a perfect mathematical construct that holds things together, but it's how we are locked in our mindset about the parts that we are playing right here. So if we are speaking of money, or we are speaking of your examination, and this is why a lot of people will tell you the feeling of feeling good that you would pass your examination is far more than if someone gave you £9 or $9. So it's about putting things into context, and this is again, number 1 has a numerical value of completion in itself. So 7 can break in that sense, or it contains the whole bedrock of creation. So you have passed your examination to become a doctor. You became number 1 to become a doctor. It means you now can set up your whole practice. Here, if you got 9 from your examination, well, you would have to go and sit your test again. However, here we have 6. 6 would say, okay, that I recognize that you're still a person, or you're still part of the system here. And number 6, all creation, but you can't rest yet. You'd have to own that thing. This is why I'm remembering, like, Neo, you are the one. But you see, Neo had to go through all this transformation, and there's again breaking out of the womb and going through all this transformation to understand that he is the one, which is also Neo, Neo, right here. So this is the essence of all of this teaching here, to understanding who we truly are. You are the one, but he had to go through breaking out of that angle, that in the middle of the heart, to understanding who am I. When you say I am, There is an I here. We are always, all of us are now, this is the thing, and this is where in the word form, we are all sharing the I. We all share I. We all refer to ourselves as I in the middle of the white. So it means that deep down in the heart, we are all the same. We could say that. We see also there is one hair and 9 hair, which coincides with the whole spectrum of the sacrifice 1 to 9. I am getting the image that it means that this is why, as long as we are fighting, we won't be able to see that we are part of the whole. You have 9, I have 1, but you need me and I need you to complete this cycle. And that is what sacrifice entails. To let go of thinking that you can accomplish all of this here, right here, because you cannot accomplish any of this without tapping into here, but to recognizing that I am in the middle of your heart. I actually shape. There is no shape or what's the word? This is not cohesive. This is not there is no construct or this is like a road, a pathway that it has no symbol of that you could make any true meaning on reflection right here. It's like it knows its pathway. Yes, it goes here and come back and so on, but here you can see there is an angle that reflects the part of our true makeup, which is in the middle of our heart right here, or the brain. This is in the middle of the heart. So this is the A, and over time it's no wonder they change, because this would be the hieroglyph symbol of the heart of A. This is A, or the pyramid, and that's in the middle of the heart and the brain. Even in the brain is the pineal gland. In the brain, the middle of the brain. And these two things are very important for us to function the way we are meant to function. We also see that the letters, I have done all the numerical values and on the construct of these 5 letters and so on. We have seen how the A is in the middle, E-A-R. So this is why we speak of heartbeat. In the middle of the heart is the A. So there is a lot happening right there. This is pureness. This is where Christ was speaking about. And it's always referring to He. But the heart, it's like for you to get to her, you've got to go to the heart. For you to create art, you have to go through the heart. He, which is often spoken of, who has the numerical value of 13. This is why 13 has to die, if you like, or come or form this tightness, and then to break, to understand this process, ART, which is art. This is where creation is done, ART. So, people, I will try and put all these videos in a playlist in a way that because I feel if people are interested in these, which I feel everyone ought to be, because we are in a new creation, people. We are this year had been the zero year, and now we are moving into a new creation. This is why Mother Eve called us to create after our own image and likeness. So we are now being the new. We are the one. We have art. And of course, art here as well is telling us about, because it comes to 12. This is the 12 zodiac signs, the 12 hours of the day, the 12 months of the year, the 12 disciples, and all of those 12. So basically, that's when the Christ died with the 13 here, number 13, and to create art. And he died. This is death. This is number 13 is the death card. And you have art. But of course, dying is the cycle and coming back again. When Christ died, he comes back as that 14. And this is why it is said in the Bible, in the book of Matthew, it is the only place it begins, I think, where at one time he speaks of Jesus, but when he speaks and he explains about the genealogy of Jesus, then he says Christ. He comes from the generation of 14. So 1 plus 4 is 5. He comes from the genealogy of 14, which is 5. And 5, of course, we have seen, is like the key that unlocks. The numerical value for key is 5. So we can see that there is a lot happening right here. And there's another thing I want to show. You could see that the dollar sign, this, for instance, the American dollar. So, and this is what I feel the American dollar has captured. There is a lot on it, but people don't, well, there's a lot of different meanings. Let's put it this way. So the American dollar, as we have seen, 1 and 9, if we add these together, that would be 10. 1 plus 9 is 10. That's the I. We often refer ourselves to as the I. So this is where we are I to I, and 10 is actually 1. So by putting this I on here, we see that that becomes the American dollar, the all-seeing eye. So this is it. So we often, all of us, because all of us are referring to ourselves as I, this is the language we have, this is the gift of language. I am, we say I am. Of course, this is an A, and you say even the A. So let's just do this. So I am, I am. So we have, if we were to do the numerical values for this, is 4. This equals 10, 14. This is where Christ says, or I am, or from Moses, I am. Tell the children of Israel that I am sent you. I am sent you. This is where we need to wake up and understand the 14 gods. It's like saying the 14 gods sent you. Say I am. And this is the symbol of hair. And Christ is described as the Christ, or who comes from the genealogy of 14 generations. 14 or generations of 14, basically. Not 14 generations, but generations of 14. Okay, however you want to make sense of it, but this is how it is. So what I want to show here as well is that, so we are referring to ourselves, I am, and so it's important we see that when we say I am, we are also using or reflecting the other person, our W. And this is the only place that we see this happening in its purity. It's as if the white has to come full circle to understand at the core of everything, the I is also this. Now, the word I, for instance, the word I, E-Y-E, equals 575. Adding this together is 17. Remember, we said that at the start. 1 plus 7 is 8. So 8 is, so this is important we understand this. So we add the value. We see the value comes to 1. We also see that when we speak with the word, adding word and number like I, so we have the I here, but the word which it gives us 8 is like that's infinity. So that's the I. So we have our eyes like this, of course. That's our eyes. But we say eyes, but if it's one eye, then shouldn't we have just this? And that's the third eye. So we can see how this, again, whoever is working, this is where I'm going to wrap this up. Whoever has the power, because we have the all-seeing eye now. So both people have this eye, definitely, or race, or whatever you want to put it as. There is the black and we have the white. Let me just put this back so you can see. So here, this is 9, this is 1. We add this together, gives us 10. 10 is 1. There is much more with 10, according to a lot of the things that I have done, because 10 gives us 12. 2, 5, 5. 12 is that I spoke of, the 12 hours of the day, the 12 months, the 12 zodiac signs and everything. So you can see at the heart and core of our makeup, we are still reflecting the pureness of all there is. This is why it says we are all the galaxies, we are all everything. But this is showing in the very symbol of the language we have been given as 10, in the core, in the middle of black and white. So I'm just feeling, I've been doing quite a bit of talking, but it's like I want to go with this because I've been putting it back too much and just I know I may end up just loading it up like this, but please take your time around this because this is a heavy and deep subject. So look after yourselves in the process of watching the videos. Please remember to leave your comments, hit the like button and share. Okay, thank you. So we have seen how we got the all-seeing eye here, and we have seen how we all refer to ourselves I. So if we are in conflict with us, with the white, who reflects, as far as we have been conditioned, who reflects this I? Where are we? How are we making sense of who we truly are? We say we don't want or we don't like the white man or we don't like the white, but yet still the white has this eye hair that of course making sure that this is here the symbol of money and everything else and power is put on us, if you like, to ensure that when you come, this is the like K, we could see K has the two, the symbol of 2, which is also 13. So this is where we are talking about K, which is 2, TWO, and we did 2, 5, 6, which comes to 13. And this is where the table, so when I said that this represents the table, this the whole column does, but in the heart of it, in the middle of these three, is the representation of 13 as 2, right there in the middle. So the people of the money with the I can, of inland revenue headquarters zone, we can see, of course, the number 8 is also the I that we have been talking about. It has the numerical or the value of the I. The inland revenue is I as well. If we added the word I, which comes to 8, and the value of letter I, so 8 plus 9 is 17. So we could see these two here, it's like God is high. So when you say hi to someone and you meet someone, you are touching on God. Hi, you are reflecting, in fact, you are acknowledging, I would say, the God in the person. You are greeting God when you say hi. 8 plus 9. I was adding this here. 8 plus 9 is 17. And this is hi, H-I, which is God. God is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Right here. So, people, can you see what is happened right there? I didn't, this is numerology. It is messy right here looking at it like this, but please bear in mind that, I'm hoping that you have made sense of this. I'm trying to keep the board a little bit free, but I had to do this to really show you that the black is onto this side with little movement to go onto that side. However, those on that side, it's like they had learned, or whichever way, to break off this and to make their way onto this side. It is white, that the word white, that has the attributes that can reflect something like itself on which to attach itself to. So if it's like a passport, you have this as your name, your character, whatever it is, your makeup, WHITE. So it is your passport. It's like going through the airport. And if you're a national, British nationals, you get less stress. It doesn't mean that you're not checked or whatever, but you have a specific place you can go because you have that passport, and you could go through here. The others would probably have to go round and round and round and ask and so on and whatever it is. But you can go, you can move. And then you have this W. So it's like here, you begin here. It's like already saying you begin on a right footing. For you to have this as white as your passport, you've already come into the middle of the spectrum. You start here, you begin here. And so you can move because you have your W. That's why it is important that you come together with your W. That's why it is important you begin to see the next person like you see yourself. And perhaps that's what we are always doing, but because we are not seeing that in the other person as though it were us, then we get lost. We are not seeing the I because, of course, it's difficult that you are on the left to see the I right here on the right. You are on the far left, but this is the I you need to be able to see. in the middle. But you are the I. You already are the I. You have like one. One is like an I. It's not like, it is also. It is also. This hair, you could say, is one, but it's there, it's taking shape. It's like the sperm, it's the baby that is taking the, it's, there's movement with it. So you can see that there is a correlation right here. So my dear people, there's one more thing I needed to I wanted to say. What I saw as well is like another thing, speaking of I, when we are speaking, yes, we say I, but in the middle of each, this is what we give the I more identity. Identity. And in the A, so meaning this is like a person. This is another thing that is done subliminally. And here, this is an A, so you say this is a object. Object, and this is a person. I'm ending on this because this is what our language has been designed. It seems like it has been designed for a specific reason like this. And so, of course, because everything is polarities, but I now say it's time in 2021, which is going to be a number 5 year. There is going to be major changes. I am hoping that the changes is that we will be able to see. This is that's why we had 2020 to see in perfect vision. And so we can actually begin to identify ourselves and know, okay, if you're from this point, if I am seeing an I here, I must be seeing what I am. If I am seeing heat here, then I must be seeing what I am. So we need to, if I am seeing lack here, then I must be seeing lack. Basically, we need to be able to see, oh, who's saying who is lack. For instance, that's another thing. This one might be seen from this perspective. Who is saying that you have lack? Are you saying have you taken on this persona? Be mindful. Let's open our eye, our third eye, and begin to make sense of our lives. So people, wonderful ignited souls, I have spoken for an hour, 40 minutes. I'm straight up. I think now I'm convinced that this is my forte. Okay. And I hope also the learning, remember, if this comes like a challenge to, go through listening, the heart has an air in it. Open your heart to listen. Do like, subscribe. I thank you. And lovely people, I just thank you. Okay. Have a pleasant day, night, whatever it is. And till next time. Oh, I'm really celebrating this, that I actually done most of what I feel I needed to do on this. So let's stay ignited and united.